humura shenge tuzabasabira humura shenge tuzabasabira ese ubundi babaho iki bana ba mama mbese mwazize iki ese ubundi babaho iki bana ba mama mbese mwazize iki humura shenge tuzabasabira abo babyeyi mwahotoye izo mpinja mwasekuye bo baziraga iki mana y'i Rwanda kuki aho twari dutuye ko hahindutse ivu humura shenge tuzabasabira humura shenge tuzabasabira ese ubundi babaho iki bana ba mama mbese mwazize iki.
Part of our commemoration, 18th commemoration of the 1994 genocide that was committed against Tutsi in Rwanda. Yesterday we had an opportunity to get together with the friends and many other Rwandans to remember our friends, the families, relatives who perished senselessly in the genocide that was committed against Tutsi. And we had a lot of messages from different people, from researchers, from people who have lived that life and shared their testimonies. Today, we continued to be with those who left us in spirit by working and showing our commitment to make sure that what happened in Rwanda in 1994 never happens again. And to send a message to the world from this capital of the world, the message that despite the indifference that the international community showed during the time when we needed it most, that this is going to be the reminder to remind all the people from the US, UK, and other parts of the world that never again shall genocide happen anywhere in the world to claim lives, innocent lives, in a very senseless, planned genocide masterminded by the government or any other government in the world. We had prayer last night. We met for the night vigil. We had more testimonies. And today, I believe there are many who did not get the opportunity to speak, who would want to share their stories. But I'm reassured that this is not the end. We're going to have more other opportunities to meet and reflect on our history and take a firm stand that this will not happen to our children and the generations to come. I would want to take this opportunity to thank all of you, Rwandans and friends of Rwanda, who have traveled all the way from United Kingdom, from Belgium, from Canada, and many other countries to come to Washington, D.C. to listen and witness what happened in Rwanda in 1994. and send out our messages of solidarity, supporting the survivors and the people of Rwanda and the government of Rwanda to rebuild our country. I also thank Rwandans. You may assume that the people you are seeing in this group and those that you saw yesterday come from around Washington, D.C. No, actually some of them traveled long distances than those who traveled from Europe. That is a very, very strong demonstration and testimony of the determination of the people of Rwanda, wherever they are, be it in Rwanda or beyond, that what happened in Rwanda will never happen, and we are all committed to build the better Rwanda that's going to be a better place for all of us and our children, but not only for Rwandans, but also for the entire humanity. With those few remarks, I would want to really thank for your support that you continue to show and do to the survivors of genocide. They try to be strong, to be like all of us, speak with a very strong voice, but the struggles inside their souls and spirits still continue. Unless we all stand and support them and show that we are part of their spirits, they'll be able to pursue the normal life. So please, as we finish this event and go to our respective homes, continue to keep in your heart that the survivors of genocide, whether they say that they are happy because you are here, you're supporting them, please remember that they're still struggling to overcome the agony and despair that went through during that tragedy. So please be close to them in spirit, but also giving them advice, those who are trying to write their stories, those who are trying to get education or treatment for what they suffered during the genocide. Please support the survivors. And once again, I want to applaud the survivors of genocide, who lost their family members, who lost everything, but they have been able to stand on their feet and say, we have to live. After genocide, there's life to live. We're going to have families and children. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for forgiving those who killed your family members. Thank you for becoming the part of this exciting process of rebuilding Rwanda. Because if you don't do that, I think the enemy that committed that crime will enjoy to see you crying and living in despair and hopelessness. So once again, I want to thank you, and I believe whoever is leading us in this part of the last part of our event is going to continue the program. Otherwise, I wish you well, safe travels wherever you go back, and we hope to see you during other events that we are trying to organize to continue telling the story of Rwanda that is being distorted, by the way, and then prepare ahead of time the 19th commemoration of the Tutsi, the genocide committed against Tutsi, but also be mindful of the fact that we should be preparing for the 20th anniversary, which is going to be in 2014. So all activities and events that we are planning are going to be leading into the bigger event of 20th anniversary. One last point, make sure wherever you are, you stand against whoever is denying this evil. Whoever is denying, with the same voice, raise your voice. The survivors should not be intimidated by anybody, a scholar or any other person, to tell your story and stand firm with the government that fought to bring sanity in our country and bring Rwandans together. I thank you very much, and God bless you.
Really good to come out today with you. The weekend has had it's brought back so many memories for so many of us. It's had heavy times. Day and a beautiful day like this to walk, it's good to share some lighter moments together, but I just really want to thank, first off, especially those who lost family members. You all have been so kind to my wife and I, and welcoming us and including us, and we feel so included, but my wife and kids weren't there during that time. So my Rwandan friends who are working with me, leaving their wife and children at home every day to help me help the orphans, they were taking huge risk. And always the largest risk and the deepest acts are going to be the acts of the Rwandans themselves. And I'm not just trying to be humble or something like that. This is just the reality. As much as you make me feel like family, it was your flesh and blood who you lost. And so I don't want to separate myself, but I really want to recognize that. And I want to thank you for the courage that you show to speak like Gonzalez spoke last night, to speak with such courage. And some of you just hearing little bits of your story and you know, just what your family did for you and what you did for your family. It's stories that I'm really committed to helping other people learn. I'm happy to share my experiences, but I'm so much more excited when somebody like Denise, who last year when I was in Rwanda, she said, you know, after reading your book, I'm going to write mine. And so I'm like, nothing could be better than that. And she said, yeah, I'll write about the genocide, that's important, but I'm going to write about life after the genocide. How is it that we can live after these days? And as I talk to people literally by the thousands here in America at schools, and I tell them about Denise, this little 13-year-old girl whose mom took her necklaces off as she left her at the orphanage and said maybe these 2 little necklaces, and she's feeling different things she never felt as a 13-year-old girl. And anybody I talk to, and I say Denise is writing her book, and I'm like, who wouldn't want to read it? And they're all like, yes. Yes, so people are so hungry for the stories. It's easy at times to feel like, oh, they must be tired of this, or they might be tired, because it's such a present part of our life every day. But for so many other people, it's not. And so, if we will, even not, a book seems daunting. It took me 16 years, which I'm ashamed of, but also one of the things about this is that with time, we learn with each year we're passing through. So I'm telling the story as accurate as I can, as I record it in the tapes and stuff, but it's also coming through a medium of life experience that has taught us lessons. As we were talking yesterday about all of us being part of this international community. And so it doesn't have to be, as you know, on the internet, it doesn't have to be a big book, a short chapter. As I've heard some people share their story and you know, just that short little chapter, and we're bringing them together and sharing them. There's teachers I talk to all around the world who would love to be able to Skype with some of you. They would love to hear your story, whether it's Skype or in your hometown. I know some of you are already visiting in your hometown, and thank you for that, because I know it hurts to keep going back there and telling those stories, and we can't tell them like facts because they're not facts. They're stories, they're our stories, and so it hurts to go back and do that again and again, but it's worth it. And when you see kids come, I had a 7th grader just send me an email saying, thank you for coming to my school. I want to talk to you more about what happened. And you see those young lives being changed. You're like, how can we not do this? How can we not? So thank you especially to those who have lost family members. And you might not be at the place yet to talk about it. We don't want to pressure you, but we want to invite you to be able to do that. And then thanks too to others who have joined in and been adopted into the family. And my heart is lifted. When I go back to Rwanda, it's always with a bit of hesitation because there's still so many memories and so many places that trigger. But whenever I'm there for long, my heart is lifted because I see people who are putting one foot in front of the other, often for their kids. That's often the case. Some of my Rwandan friends say, oh, these 30-year-old guys, they're saying, well, we're kind of ruined, but it's for our kids. And I'm like, no, you're not ruined. But that sense of hope for our children, it's exciting. So thank you for inviting us to be here. Looking forward to crossing paths with you more in your towns as we get to travel around. The American Embassy just invited us to Moscow to share stories the end of May with schools in Russia, and we're very excited about that. And so I hope we can stay in touch through Facebook and we can help share the stories. World Outside My Shoes is hoping to grow and grow to help other people be able to tell their stories. And so thank you very much for this weekend. And I know we're as our ambassador said, we've got so much ahead of us that we can look forward to. Never forgetting what's behind, but also keeping large in the screen in front of us what we have. And when we look at that, we can still find much to say thank you for. So thank you very much.
The feeling of I'm happy that today we have been at this commemoration event, and we have been able to heal ourselves, remembering our beloved ones that we lost in the genocide. We, at the same time, we give them the dignity that they lost in the genocide. And one more thing is that we have been able to show to the rest of the world that we never forgot them, and we wanted to let the world know what happened in the genocide against Tutsis in Rwanda. Thanks.
Nitwa Ndumwe Nadine, nkaba ntuye mu Bubiligi, nkaba naraje inahangaha nje kuza kureba uko hano byifashe, ko aho turi mu Bubiligi tumaze imyaka 17 twibuka ku itariki ya 7, ariko bwa mbere mva mu Bubiligi nkajya kureba uko handi bimeze.